All the voices you are about to hear come from the head and face of
Damien Slash.
Damien Slash.
This summer is this summer as this summer in This Summer 3, the return of this summer, co-starring this summer as the summer that would change everything.
I'll ask you one final time. Where is this summer?
Maybe you should look out the window, asshole.
What the hell?
And this summer as the only person this summer can trust.
Stay with me, Summer, goddammit! Get us out of here now!
This summer will never be the same again. To become this summer, you must become this summer.
What you saying, people? This week on Open Book, we got the one and only Ian McEwen back in the studio. What are you saying, fam?
Yeah, what one?
So, like, we all know that you've been having some pretty deep Twitter beef recently with Sebastian Faulks. Like, last week, Martin Amis, this week, Sebastian Faulks. You're taking on the whole world, didn't it?
I don't know, like, I was linking the man Booker Prize. A man start chatting breeze about my glasses being too thick, like, because man still shook about my book sales. Do you get me? You're a waste man, Sebastian.
Enough of that, let's get to the music. Alright, people, it's a one and only Man Booker award-winning writer, Ian McEwen on the mic. Open Book freestyle exclusive. Let's go.
Sebastian Faulks, you need to shut the folks up. Cause there is only one Don. Shop books like Amazon. Sit down, pick up the pen and it's on Man Booker Prize, pick up the phone. Man slew Amis, man slew Barry. Man look shook cause I add man's name to the tally. Sebastian Faulks, you're writing his schlock. I cut more words with a block. Waterstone got a restock. That a cash out, ching ching bang. Publishers selling a lot. Yours are definitely not. Look brand new in the Oxfam shop. Cause I am the Stephen King. I'm on that Rowling ting. You just a JK clowning ting. Your book's too thin and your life work ain't work with paper clip. I write the books they ship. You write the books man skip. When they lick that ting in a bargain bin in the airport Smiths. Wobbly table prop that up. Cause your books is not that hot. Sat on the toilet, rip that up. Cause your books is not that hot. Shit on the carpet, mop that up. Cause your books is not that hot. Run out of Rizzler, roll that up. Cause your books is not that hot.
Damien Slash.
This is a generic advert for the major brand that's already got a monopoly on the very thing we're advertising. Because we've made so much money cornering the market, we decided to throw some away on this ad. That's why, as a little way of saying screw you, we're offering you the chance to win something that nobody wants, inside special packs of our usual extraneous crap. So, keep on giving us your money, and we'll keep selling you rubbish. Generic advert for something that you don't have a choice on, making life a little simpler. As an outspoken male feminist activist, I see the pervasive sex pest culture that's wriggling into everyday life as, yes, absolutely terrible, but also a massive opportunity. Not only to attract women, but also to unite, inspire, and engage other guys to strike a pose, make a change, and weaponize their own feminism to challenge, deconstruct, and ultimately destroy the patriarchy. It's that simple. I speak on behalf of cis white men against cis white men because, unfortunately, I do identify as a cis white male. And one day, should I choose to donate my sperm, I might even be the father of another little cis white male. I mean, I hope not, but it could happen. I want that little boy to stand up and fight for women and all victims, not just be another quiff-haired, cocky millennial, constantly stoned on spice, whose soul has been turned to ruin by Snapchat filters and hentai. I've come to see that ingrained misogyny is a stubborn jar of Nutella, screwed on tight by a million years of oppression and misogyny. As progressive, tolerant, free-thinking male feminists, it's our job to take that jar of Nutella from the weaker sex and, by applying the force of our male privilege in a twisting motion, grant universal access to the sweet paste of gender equality from within. I'm Xavier Landing, and this is my feminism.
Damien Slash.
Hello and goodbye. You are tuned into the Jimmy Swoon podcast. And first off, before the show starts, a little message from our sponsor today, Pro Dry Underwater Hair Dryers. Keep your hair super dry at all times of day, and you can get yourself a Pro Dry Underwater Hair Dryer with a promo code 89JimmySwoon online at the website now. That's www.prodryunderwaterhairdryers.com. Keep your hair super dry. Okay, let's start the show.
The last bit of hummus looking as edible as ever now at this halfway stage of the game. Claire from Salisbury going for a sip of the Sauvignon Blanc, raising a glass in her typical drinking style, and placing down with that cheeky flick of the wrist. And Claire has used that manoeuvre very well here indeed, finishing the last bit of hummus off with a cool, collected combination manoeuvre, placing her wine glass firmly in the way of everyone else, much to the dissatisfaction of the others though. And now Richard has placed his smartphone on the table, not something anyone could have anticipated at this stage, and what a shame that is. Both teams visibly frustrated by this seemingly unsophisticated behaviour, and yes, Richard has lightly apologised and made a reasonably unfunny joke about the phone, and it's back where it belongs, in his reasonably inexpensive trousers. And there it is. The dessert menu has arrived, and Ricardo is making his intentions very clear to the others, and indeed, this is where all that dietary training really comes into its own. Very unlikely he'll be challenged at this stage. And sure enough, Ian has passed on dessert, citing a full stomach, but from what we've seen tonight, there can be no doubt that the man is undoubtedly craving at least a little bit of cheesecake. Definitely no doubt that Claire really has dominated in the liquids tonight, now on her 6th large glass of red wine and still going strong. Richard escalating to an espresso on top of that now. Could that be the end for this meal? No, not by a long shot, out of nowhere. Ian has placed an order for trifle and cappuccino. They don't call him the Mountain for nothing. Absolutely thrilling dining going on this evening. And with that, the meal draws to its final moments. Phones lighting up left, right and centre. What a fantastic meal that was. Join us again next week at Depali Curry House in Palmer's Green.
As an outspoken male feminist activist, I started being the change I wanted to see by installing a revolutionary new dating app called Bumble. I was lucky enough to have matched with a polygamous asexual Vice journalist called Izzy Parker Hamilton Bowles, who specialises in pro-pornography clickbait and working-class nostalgia articles. Aware that my toxic masculinity was urging me to suggest a place to get dinner, I instead remained conscious and left all of the decision-making to Izzy. 2 weeks later, Izzy replied and told me to meet her at the vegan restaurant in Camberwell at 6:30. I replied with a strong arm and girl emojis. It felt refreshing, futuristic even, to know I was making a difference, being a good feminist and potentially acquiring a new sexual partner all at the same time. Arriving at the restaurant, I asked Izzy if she would feel comfortable if I held the door open for her on the way inside. She said she didn't mind, to which I responded, "Would you like to hold the door for me?" As I walked past Izzy into the restaurant, I asked her where we were going to sit and let her remove my barber jacket before sitting down first. After an incredible 20-minute chinwag about paedophile rights, Izzy suggested that we leave as she was feeling tired. The moment I was worried about had arrived. Should I pay or encourage Izzy to get the bill? Before we'd even worked out what to do, Izzy informed me that we didn't need to pay as her father owned the restaurant chain. Waiting for Izzy's Uber, I decided to ask Izzy the question I'd wanted to ask her all night. Can I kiss you now? Izzy declined, but then something amazing happened. As Izzy embarked the cab and said goodbye, she exclaimed that despite creeping her out, I had changed how she felt about male feminists forever. I never heard from Izzy again, but for me, this moment, this catharsis, was worth more than any physical or sexual prize. I'm Xavier Landing, and this is my feminism.
Damien Slash.
Okay, guys, please, silence, please, now, please, guys, thank you. Time for the lad's prayer, thank you. Please raise your glasses. Our beer, which art in barrels. Hallowed be thy drink, thy will be drunk. I will be drunk, at home as in the local. Forgive us this day our daily spillage, as we forgive them who spillage against us. And lead us not into the poncy practice of wine tasting, and deliver us from our co-pops. For mine is the bitter, the real ale, and the scrumpy. Forever and ever. Amen.
Damien slash.
Damien slash.
What are you saying, people? This week on Open Book, we got the #1 best-selling writer, Sebastian Folks, up in the booth with a freestyle callback to Ian McEwen. What you saying, fam?
Yeah, we're going, fam.
So, like, we all know that you and Ian McEwen been calling each other out, saying some pretty deep things, getting raw recently. What's with all the beef, like?
Man sending ops around, egging man's yard and all that. So I told him I ain't taking that, do you get me? That's why I had my mans turn up in the X5 outside the Costa Book Award and cop that glass brick right there and then, innit? And I got a message for that road man today.
Alright, people, it's the one and only international bestseller, Sebastian Folks on the mic, Open Book Freestyle exclusive. Let's go.
Faber, Penguin Classic, represent. When McEwen, shut your mouth. Oi, listen, McEwen, man, see what you're doing. From the jet that I flew in, on the way to the tour that I'm doing, shut down like your audience doing. Cause it ain't been nothing but clock for the last 10 years on the trot. Man's book stuck shut by the rock, ran a rise to the top for the hardback knocks to the front of the shops. And you call a man fat, but I swallow the facts. And I check with the banks when it comes to the stacks. Man's gassed on the stats like a fiction fan. Perfect. You still hype on atonement, but that book ain't nothing on Birdsong. Ain't never gonna be no comparison between a book and a mop with some words on. Perfect. So sick of enduring love, 6th form kids endured it enough. So pack up your laptop, get out the way, you are not on the syllabus, stay out the game. Perfect. Stay out the game. Pack up your laptop, get out the way, you are not on the syllabus, stay out the game.
As an outspoken male feminist activist, for me, it's really just a way of life. The thing is, I love women. I love them. And I don't mean I think they're cool and I respect them. I mean, I just love the way they are, the way they think, the way they move, the way they speak. I like their soft hair and their little noses. Women feel at ease around me. And I don't really know why, but I've been told that it's my feminism. What my guy friends find really weird is how many women I sleep with, and I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean just lying down, having a cup of chamomile tea and a chat, and going to sleep. I really do enjoy the company of women that much. You know, would I sleep with my guy friends like that? Absolutely not. They're guys, it's completely different. But it's also 100% plutonic with the women I'm seeing. Last night I was sleeping with my neighbor Lillian because her husband was at a conference. Yes, I gave her a foot massage and I washed her hair, but at no point did it strike either of us as anything other than innocent human connection. The truth is, I consider myself a post-sex individual, or to put it in layman's terms, my orgasms are now spiritual, open source, and manifest as pure respect. I would rather have an honest conversation with a beautiful woman about her ex and his problematic psychological profile than inflict my hideous body upon hers or have her give herself to me in any way that isn't raw magnetic honesty. I'm Xavier Landing, and this is my feminism.
The Damien slash mixtape was written and performed by Daniel Barker, with guest appearance by Natasha Dimitru. The producer was Matt Strong. It was a BBC Studios production.